Welcome to your Thursday morning yoga practice. I'm going to tell you a story that Pema Chodron wrote. I'm going to paraphrase her words. A woman was running away from tigers. So she ran and she ran. She got to the edge of a cliff and she saw this little vine that trailed off the edge of the cliff. So she grabbed onto the vine and she started rappelling down. She looked down below her. There were tigers below her. She looked up above. The tigers had arrived at the edge of the cliff above her. She looked straight in front of her, and a little mouse was gnawing away at the vine that she was holding on to for dear life. So she looked over to the side, and there was a clump of strawberries just growing out of the side of the cliff. She grabbed a strawberry, put it in her mouth, and enjoyed it thoroughly. That's the whole story. The moral of this story is to try to do your best, no matter if there are tigers above or tigers below. That's the name of the story, by the way, tigers above, tigers below. Do your best, no matter what is happening. Do the best that you can, and also look for the sweetness in life. Look for the preciousness. Look for the strawberry. So my question for you is, what is your strawberry? No matter what your situation is, I know you're trying to do your best. What is the strawberry? What is the sweetness you can find in your life right now? Come into a nice seat, anything that feels comfortable for you, and close your eyes. Take a moment to notice what's around you. So your eyes are closed, but just notice, in a sense, what's around you in your life. What are the tigers above and the tigers below, and even the little mice that are gnawing away at the frayed edges of your sanity? And then notice if there is a strawberry, something sweet, something delicious in your life amidst whatever else is going on. Our practice today is about doing our best and about finding the strawberry. Bring your hands to your heart and make that commitment to do the best that you can in the circumstances you have. Make the commitment to find and savor, enjoy your strawberry. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. Release your hands down. Take one more inhale that allows you to sit a little taller, and then gently open your eyes. All right, friends, we're gonna begin this yoga practice standing. So come on up to standing on both feet. Plant those feet into the earth. Really, no tigers below you right now. No tigers above right now. So just allow yourself to settle here. As you inhale, sweep your arms out to the sides. Oh, you can press play on your playlist if you're following along with music. Interlace your fingers here and stretch up and take just a slight back bend, taking your gaze up, looking up. And then as you exhale, sweep your arms out and down. We're gonna keep the right hand down, take the left arm up. As you exhale, arc over to the right. Get long into this left side. You're gonna keep leaning to the right, but bow forward, just about a 45-degree angle, as if you're reaching that left hand towards the corner of your room. And then inhale, lift back up. Take your left hand down, right arm up. Exhale, arc over to the left. Find that sweetness, that length you're creating in the right side. And then exhale, keep leaning to the left, but bow forward just a little bit. And then inhale, back up, take your hand down, interlace your hands behind your back, draw your shoulders back, try to broaden across your chest as much as you can. Keep your low belly pulled in, take your gaze up, slide your hands down, open the front body. And then inhale, back up. Take both arms back up overhead. This time, interlace your fingers. I like to keep my index fingers pointing up, but interlace however you like. Take a breath in here. As you exhale, arc over to the right. We're going to go around in a circle, so bow forward, and then circle around to the left, and then circle back behind you, and then again over to the right. 2 more times around in this direction. Try to keep your knees and hips as still as possible. We're trying to open up that thoracic spine, so your mid to upper spine. When you finish that third circle, come up, and then we will circle in the opposite direction. Take a breath in here, right up overhead, and as you exhale, arc over to the left, and then circle forward, around to the right, and then back behind you, and then 2 more on your own. Try to be smooth here. Notice where you feel the opening, where you feel the sweetness as you circle around. And then lift back up, unlace your fingers, make 2 fists here. So we're going to start lowering the arms out to the sides as we circle the fists around in one direction. When you get to about a T, start circling the fists around in the other direction and continue lowering down. Shake your hands out a little bit. All right, bend your knees a little. Place your hands above the knees. So you're going to reach the hips back and reach the chest forward. From this position, we'll take cat and cow 3 times. Exhale, cat pose, round the back, let all the breath out. And then inhale, cow pose, send the hips back, chest forward. Exhale, cat. Open up between the shoulder blades. Inhale, cow, hips back, chest forward, little bit of a back bend. Come into a neutral spine. Keep those knees bent and then stand all the way up. Stand right up at the top of your mat, feet about hip width. So when I say hip width, we're talking about the front points of your hip bones, about that width. So not where the outside of your hip is, but right here where the hip bones are. So you can get those bones stacked up and then add in a little bit of muscle energy, hands to your heart. We're going to go through a flow here that has a bunch of poses in it. And I want you to, as we go through the flow, look for your strawberry. Maybe add a little bit of toning in your throat so you have a Ujjayi breath that helps you remember you're looking for the strawberry, you're doing your best. On your inhale, take your arms up, stretch up tall, look up. No tigers above. Exhale, fold down, look down. No tigers below. Fold in here. Inhale, stretch forward halfway. On your exhale, downward facing dog. Step your feet to the back of your mat. In downward dog, take a deep inhale through your nose. Big exhale through your mouth. Push the breath out. Next inhale, come forward, plank. Next exhale, lower, chaturanga. Next inhale, lift up into cobra, or maybe upward dog, your choice, back bend here in the vinyasa, and then downward facing dog. On an inhale, lift your right leg back and up behind you, stretch it up, and then on your exhale, pull your knee into your nose as you come into plank, and then plant your right foot at the top of your mat. Warrior 1, spin your back heel down so your toes point out at about a 45-degree angle, and then use your inhale to lift you up into the standing back bend, stretching up through your hands, through your gaze, broadening across your heart. Take one more breath in here, and then as you exhale, bring your hands down to the floor. We'll lift the back heel up, maybe scoop the back foot back a little bit, and then as you exhale, straighten the front leg, fold over it. Inhale, bend your knee, look forward. We'll do that 2 more times. Exhale, straighten and fold. Inhale, bend and look forward. 1 more time, straighten and fold. And then inhale, bend. Bring your back foot in about 1 inch. And then place your palms down on your mat. So one leg downward dog, take that leg straight back. Keep your knee straight, don't bend the knee here. And then lift your right hip up over your left. So that right foot, right straight leg is gonna go over to the left a little bit. Take a breath in here, and as you exhale, you're gonna semicircle that straight right leg out to the side as you come into plank and tap your foot down on the outside of your right wrist, and then semicircle it back and up and over to the left. 2 more times, semicircle out to the right and down, tap on the outside of your wrist, semicircle out, and a little twist here. 1 more time, tap on the outside of your wrist, and then take the leg back and up. This time, bend your knee, maybe twist just a little bit more. Inhale, straighten your leg back behind you. As you exhale, lunge that right foot to the top of your mat, using your core to get it there. Spin your back heel down to the floor, straighten your front leg, triangle pose. Sweep your left hand back past your left hip and straight up overhead, and then take your gaze up overhead. Maybe your strawberry is that those wrist tappers are over. Take a couple of breaths here, opening up into the triangle pose. And then as you exhale, hand down to the mat. You're going to walk your hands around to the left long side of your mat. So we're facing the left long side of the mat and with wide legs. And we'll take 4 side lunges here. These are on your own. I like to flow at my breath pace. So bend into your left knee or your right. Start on either side that feels right for you. We're just going back and forth. 4 total side lunges. And then a forward bend. Walk your hands around to the front of your mat. 1 leg downward dog. Lift your right leg back and up, straight back behind you, and then 1 leg vinyasa. Flow through as it feels right for you. 1 leg or 2 leg. Be with your breath. We'll meet in downward dog. Once you're there, deep inhale through your nose. Big exhale through your mouth. And just take a moment to identify what your strawberry was in that sequence. We're going to do it on the second side. Second side might be a little bit different. Inhale, left leg back and up behind you. Stretch it up high. On your exhale, knee into your nose as you come into plank pose. And then plant that left foot between your hands. Virabhadrasana 1 and Warrior 1, spin your back heel down, and as you inhale, lift up. Open up across the chest a little bit here, keeping the abdomen strong and firm. See if you can lift your chest up just a little bit more. Take 1 more breath in here, and then as you exhale, hands down to the mat. Lift the back heel up, scoop the back foot back just a little bit, 90-degree angle in the front knee. On your exhale, straighten the front leg and fold over it. On your inhale, bend your knee and look forward. 2 more. Exhale, straighten and fold. Inhale, bend, look forward. Exhale. Inhale. All right, from here, scoop the back foot in just about 1 inch. Lower your hands down to the mat. Step back to 1 leg dog. So left leg lifts back and up. Keep the knees straight and then stack your left hip over the right hip. So you're taking your left foot over to the right, the whole left leg over to the right. Take a breath in here. As you exhale, semicircle. Take that left leg out to the left. Come into plank, tap your toe down on the outside of your wrist, and then circle back and around where you started. 2 more times. Flow with your breath. Try to take the momentum out. Slow down just a little bit. And then square your hip up. Lunge your left foot up to the top of your mat. Spin your back heel down to the ground. Triangle pose. Straighten the front leg. Sweep your right hand back past your right hip and straight up overhead. Maybe take your gaze up. Take a few breaths just to be here in triangle, to lengthen through the spine, to lengthen through the legs. And then on your next exhale, circle that right arm forward and down to your mat. Turn to face the right long side of your mat. And we'll do 4 more side lunges here. Start with either side that you like. Get low if that feels good, or stay high. When you finish the 4, just fold over a little bit more here. And then turn to face the front of your mat in lunge. One leg, downward dog. Take your left leg back and up behind you. One leg vinyasa. Flow through here, following your breath pace. We'll meet in downward facing dog. Yeah, you're looking good. Take a deep inhale here. Big exhale through your mouth. And then bring your feet to the top of your mat. Walk, step, or hop your feet up. Fold over your legs. And then inhale, rise up to stand. Palms touch. Exhale, hands come to your heart. Take a moment here just to find your breath, to be with your breath, to be steady. No tigers, no mice. But there is a strawberry, you gotta look for it. Take a breath in, exhale, lower your hips down, lift your heart up. This is chair pose. Challenge yourself in the back bend here. So I know all of you, you're all really strong in the legs. So see if you can keep the hips low, but lift that chest up. Yes, that looks good. Exhale, forward bend. Fold down, straighten the legs. Inhale, lengthen forward. Take your vinyasa now, whatever that means for you. You can always skip that vinyasa. Just try to be with your breath, savoring the sweetness in every breath, every pose. From downward dog, lunge your right foot to the top of your mat. Let's lift up to warrior 2. Spin your back heel to the floor and find your warrior 2 here. Take your gaze out past your front hand. Take a moment to savor the preciousness of the strength of your body to hold you in this pose with stability. Savor your ability to be still, to just be here with your breath. High crescent pose. So sweep your left hand down past your left hip and then circle it forward as you lift your back heel up. So you're just on the ball of the back foot in high crescent. Lift the chest up, find your back bend here, opening through the chest, and then exhale, hands to your heart. We're gonna come up to a standing figure 4 or standing pigeon on your right leg. Balance. Across the base of your left shin, above that right knee, shift your hips back. So this is like that chair pose that we were just in. Your legs are strong, they'll hold you, they'll support you. See if you can pull your shoulders back a little bit more, firing up that posterior chain of muscles across your back. Maybe you get your chest a little bit lower while you're taking it forward. On your inhale, lift up just a little bit, eagle pose. Cross that left thigh all the way over the right thigh, and then cross your left arm under the right arm, bring your palms together or backs of the hands touching. Take a breath in here as you exhale, lower down, squeeze knees and elbows together. Make this be about your abdominal muscles contracting to help hold you in the pose. As you inhale, lift your chest back up, keep the arms wrapped, take your left leg back behind you, lower your heel down for warrior 1 stance, and then lift your chest up, unfurl your arms, open up into that big warrior 1, stretching up. Yeah, you got it. And then circle your arms back behind you. Interlace your fingers, chest stays open as you fold down into your forward bend. Humble warrior, bringing the hands away from your back, letting your head hang down. And then release your hands to either side of the front leg. Straighten that front leg finally and fold over it. And now one leg dog. Take your right leg back and up. One leg vinyasa. Or two. You know how it goes. Use your breath to guide you through. We'll start the second side right here. Lunge your left foot to the top of your mat. Come up to warrior two. Back foot is rooted, front toes are pressing forward, and then you settle here. Notice if you're just sort of taking on the form of the pose. See if there's a place where you can reinforce your strength. Think about squeezing the feet in towards one another, hugging the belly in and up, drawing the shoulders back. Savor your strength here. And now high crescent pose. Sweep the right hand down past the right hip and forward and up as you lift the back heel off the ground. Find your back bend here, open across the chest, pressing the palms towards one another and reaching the thumbs down towards the floor behind you. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Standing pigeon pose or figure four. So we stand on the left leg, cross the right leg over, send the hips back and down. Try to lift the chest up a little bit. So you can even fold down towards your shin while keeping the chest lifted. It's going to be a deeper hip opener for you here. More strength into the upper back. As you inhale, lift just a little, cross the right leg all the way over for eagle legs. Bring the arms out in front, cross the right arm under the left, bend your elbows, wrap your forearms. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, draw knees and elbows together, pulling in, hugging the belly in. It's really going to help you with the balance here. Inhale, lift your chest up, keep the arms wrapped. Take your right foot back behind for a warrior one stance. Lift the chest up, lift the fingers up towards the ceiling, and then finally unwrap the arms, open up. That's my strawberry right there, letting go of that bind in the arms. Deep breath in. And then as you exhale, circle your arms down and back behind you. Interlace your hands, keep the chest open. And when you exhale again, fold into humble warrior. You can fold right inside that left thigh. Bring your hands away from your back. Let your head have its weight. And then release your hands down to the floor, either side of the front leg. Straighten the front leg again and fold down into it. It's time for one leg dog again. This time left leg is the one that lifts. Take the one leg flow or two leg flow. The important thing here is not if you have a leg lifted. The important thing is that you move with your breath. Move at the pace of your breath. From downward dog, bring your feet to the top of your mat so you can walk them up, step them up, maybe one hop up. Fold down over your thighs. And then chair pose. Take the hips low, lift the heart high, take your gaze up. Challenge yourself again to find the back bend in this pose. And then straighten the legs. Stand tall, strong belly. Take a standing back bend here. You can place your hands on your low back if you need them there for support. or interlace your hands behind your head if your neck needs support. And then inhale, come back up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Take a moment, just reflect back over that flow that we just did and see where the strawberry was for you. And now we'll move on. Inhale, take the arms up. Deep breath in as you stretch high. Ujjayi, exhale, fold over your legs. Inhale, lengthen out halfway. On your exhale, take your vinyasa, maybe jumping back to chaturanga or stepping back to downward dog. Again, the important thing is that you use your breath to get you from pose to pose. If you go through your vinyasa and you get to downward dog and you feel really out of breath and sort of jacked up, that might be a sign that you're not really moving with your breath. So just notice here how you're feeling. Okay, inhale, right leg, back and up behind you. Bend your knee and twist open. Hug into the belly. Get a little lighter into your right hand, maybe even lifting the whole hand off the mat. And then lower it back down. Stretch the right leg straight back behind you. Square the hips up. As you exhale, lunge your foot up to the top of your mat. Come up into high crescent pose. Lifting the chest up, finding that back bend again. And then inhale, back upright. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart. So we're going to go right from here into the prep for dancer pose. So still standing on the right foot. Bring your weight over the right foot. Stand upright. Reach back with the left hand. Grab your left foot. And then take your right hand straight up overhead. Take a breath in here. And then as you exhale, bring your chest forward as you push your foot back. Instead of looking down at the tigers below you, look straight out in front of you. Maybe there's a strawberry there. And then on an exhale, gently release your foot to step back to warrior one. Lift up into your warrior, stretching the chest open. Take a moment just to be with that back bend here in your pose. And then on your exhale, hands down on the inside of your front leg. Walk your right foot a little farther out to the right. We're going to lower the left knee down to the floor and we're going to be on it a little bit. So if you want to pat it, go ahead and get that extra cushioning underneath your knee. You're going to keep your left hand on the floor. Cup your right fingers behind your right ear. Right elbow points out to the side for now. So we're going to work on opening up that thoracic spine a little bit more. As you inhale, rotate up towards the ceiling. So you're twisting, pointing that right elbow towards the ceiling. As you exhale, rotate down. Maybe the right elbow touches the inside of the left arm. And then inhale, rotate open, pointing the right elbow to the sky. Exhale, rotate down. Inhale, rotate open again. And then last time, exhale, rotate down. You're going to inhale, rotate open again, and then stretch that right arm straight up into the sky. Bend your left knee, reach back with the right hand, and see if your hand and foot touch each other. We worked on this a lot on Tuesday, that proprioception of just figuring out where your foot is when it's back behind you. And then we'll just twist a little bit more here. Push your foot into your hand, roll your right shoulder back, take your gaze up towards the ceiling. And then as you inhale, release your pose, hand down to the mat. Step back, one leg dog. Right leg is the one that lifts back behind you. Bend your knee, twist open, and this time if you want to flip over, try to strengthen your core to put the brakes on that flip so you don't crash down into your right foot as you flip. And then inhale, back around, one leg dog. One more, one leg vinyasa with this leg, right leg lifted. We'll start the second side here. Inhale, lift your left leg back and up behind you, bend your knee and twist open. Stay with the twist here, hug into your core, start to get lighter in your left hand, maybe lifting the left palm up so you're just on fingertips. And then try lifting a fingertip or two, maybe all the fingertips lift. And then place your hand back down, stretch the left leg straight back behind you, square your hips, lunge your left foot to the top of your mat. High crescent pose, sweep the arms forward and up. Find your back bend here, opening the chest. And then inhale, back upright, exhale, hands to your heart. So we're gonna get into the prep for dancer pose, standing on the left leg from here. Take a breath in. As you exhale, push forward, standing on your left foot, lifting the right foot back behind, and then reach back with your right hand or your strap. You see if hand will find foot readily. You might have to look for it a little bit. And then left arm straight up overhead. Keep your belly engaged because we're going into a deeper back bend. You need that belly strength to support your low back. As you exhale, hinge forward at your left hip, taking your chest straight forward, pushing your hand with your foot, finding dancer, and then on an exhale, release your foot to land in warrior one. Open up across the chest. And then on an exhale, hands down to the floor on the inside of your left leg. Bring the left foot a little bit wider, and then lower your right knee to the mat. Keep your right hand where it is. Cup your left fingers behind your left ear, left elbow pointing out to the side. As you inhale, rotate up to the sky, pointing the left elbow up. And as you exhale, rotate down. Maybe elbow touches the inside of your right arm. Inhale, lift back up. Exhale, float down. Inhale, lift up. One more time, you'll float down and pull into the twist here. And then inhale, lift back up. This time, take your left arm straight up into the air. Reach your left hand back, bend your right knee. See if your hand and your foot find each other. We'll keep working on that. And then add a little bit more of a back bend. Push your foot into your hand, lift your chest open, take your gaze to the sky. Savor whatever goodness you feel in this pose. And then exhale, let it go. Hand down to the mat, or foot to the mat, hand to the mat. Lift your back knee up, one leg dog, take your left leg back and up behind you. Bend your knee and twist open again. Of course, you can stay right here in the one leg dog with a twist. If you want to flip over, start taking your foot over to the side. Be strong in your core. Yeah, there you go. Looking beautiful in these three-pointed back bends. Inhale, come back around, one leg dog. Last one leg vinyasa of the whole practice, or two leg, you decide. Big inhale through your nose and downward dog. Big exhale through your mouth. All right, shorten up your downward dog just a little bit, a couple of inches. Look up between your hands. So we're going to come to a seat on the mat. If you want, you can just lower your knees down and come to a seat with your legs out in front. Or maybe you jump to a seat or jump your feet straight through. There you go. And we'll take the legs out in front here. All right, we're going to keep the left leg straight, bend the right knee, and take it out to the side. So the sole of your right foot's on the inside of the left leg. Take your left hand behind your left hip and about an inch wider. Take your right arm up into the air. So keep that left leg at attention. If it just wants to flop out to the side, wake it up a little bit. Make your kneecap and your toes point up to the sky. Take a breath in. As you exhale, you're going to do just a little bit of a twist and then a lot of a forward fold to fold out over your left leg. So you can bring one or both hands around to grab onto your leg, your ankle, maybe your foot. As you fold in, we're trying to accomplish several things in this one pose. One is the forward bend, stretching the back of the left leg and also the back body. 2, stretching the outer right hip. 3, that little bit of a twist in the forward bend will help you get a stretch into your mid-back in a place that I find really hard to stretch. But it's a place that all of us need to stretch, especially those of us who sit a lot. So maybe just notice in all of these things that we're trying to do with this one pose, where the strawberry is. Forward bending is not your jam if it feels like tigers are chasing you when you're in your forward bend. See if you can notice some other part in your body where the strawberry lives. Inhale, lift up. We're going to plant the sole of the right foot on the floor, right kneecap pointing up. So take your right foot just a little bit forward. So I've got my right inner ankle in line with the inside of my left inner knee, but everybody's body proportions are a little bit different. I'm going to show you what we're going to do, and I'll give you some modifications. So we're going to plant the hands back on either side of the hips, push into the hands, and try to lift the hips up. So it's pretty hard to do with the hands on the ground. A little bit easier if you come onto ridge tops. So ridge tops are 4 fingers pointing forward, your thumbs pointing in towards your hips and your palms lifted, and then you push down and lift up. And then it's going to be a lot easier if you have blocks underneath your hands on either the low or medium level. So we're going to do this 3 times together. You decide flat palms, ridge tops, or blocks, or whatever you have to serve as blocks underneath your hands. So I want you to push a little bit into the floor with that right foot. It's a lot of core strength. Straighten the arms, push the hands down, see if you can lift the hips up. There's also an action of pulling the hips back a little bit. And then maybe you lift that left leg off the ground. Good, lower everything back down. We'll do that 2 more times. Take a breath in, exhale, straighten the arms, push the floor away, pull the hips back, lift that left leg, and then lower down. Don't worry if you don't get the left heel off the ground. 1 more time. Exhale, push down, pull the hips back and up, lift up through the left leg, and then lower down. All right, we're going to revisit that in a moment, but first we're going to do all these things on the other side. So straighten out your right leg, bend your left knee out to the side, sole of the left foot along the inside of the right leg. Right hand behind and about 1 inch wide, left arm up. Make sure that right leg is awake, and then exhale, bow over it and twist just a little bit to the right. You can do whatever you want with your hands and arms here that helps you be in the pose. So depending on what's happening in your body, where your tightness is, where your length is, you might be feeling it more in different places. And as you move the arms around, the arms will help you get a little lighter in the places that are where this pose feels more intense. All right, inhale, lift yourself back up. Bring your left knee to point up, sole of the left foot on the ground. So I like having my foot away from my hip a little bit. You can do it with your heel right next to your hip, but it's going to be harder to lift up. Bring the foot a little bit forward. This is already hard enough. So either palms on the ground, ridge tops on the ground, or hands on blocks. Take a breath in. As you exhale, straighten the arms, push into the floor, lift the hips up, maybe pull the hips back a little bit, maybe lift the right leg off the floor, and then lower down. 2 more times. One thing I've been forgetting to tell you is push down a little bit with that left foot on this side. Second time, take a breath in, exhale, push, pull the hips back and up, lift the left or right leg up. Exhale, lower down. One more time, push, lift, pull up, and then lower down. All right, straighten that left leg out, shake your legs out a little bit. We're ready for an arm balance called Ekahasta Bhujasana, one arm shoulder pressure pose. So we're going to keep the left leg straight and bend the right knee. You're going to pick up that right foot, pull the knee back, and then we're going to throw that right leg up over the right arm. So however you can get it up there. You don't have to have the arm up over the shoulder. Some of you have the flexibility to do that, but the higher you do get your leg up onto your upper arm, the pose does become a little bit easier. Place your hands. This time your hands are a little bit forward of your hips. You're going to lean forward. With this right leg, you're going to try to drive that right foot down towards the floor. It's going to help you get your hips up, but it's mostly your core. Take a breath in. As you exhale, lean forward, straighten the arms, push the floor away, lift the hips back and up, and then maybe lift the left leg off the ground. Just for a second. Yes, there you go. Let's lower down. We'll come back to this side after we do the second side. So straighten the legs out. Second side, bend your left knee. Right leg straight. Grab your left foot, lift the leg up, pull your knee back. And then get your left arm on the inside of that left leg, maybe working your leg up a little bit higher on your arm or even over your shoulder. You can do this with your leg down just above your elbow. It's a little bit tougher. So the higher you can get it, a little bit easier you'll have it in the pose. Plant your hands, fingertips pointing forward, leaning forward, and then you're going to push into the hands as you straighten the arms, pull the belly back and up. Try to push that left foot down towards the floor as you lift the right leg up. Yes, I see you getting that right leg off the ground. Good job. We're going to do it one more time on each side. If you've had enough of this, arm balancing, you're going to come onto your back and take a bridge pose, either bridge under your own power or a supported bridge with a block or two under your hips. So second time, left leg is straight, right knee is bent. Lift the right leg up, throw it over your arm, plant your hands. Lean forward into those hands. Take a breath in here. As you exhale, push into the hands, trying to get the arms straighter. Pull the hips back and up. That's core strength that does that. And then lift up through the top of that left leg. You did it. Good job. Straighten the leg back out. One more time on the second side. Bend your left knee. Pick the left foot up. Pull the leg back. And then get it up over your left shoulder. Plant your hands, lean forward, breath in, exhale. Push the floor away to lift the hips. Abdominal strength pulls the hips back. Left foot is reaching towards the ground as you lift the right leg up. Yeah, good job. All right, come on to your back. I just want to let you know you're not going to be on your back for the rest of the practice. I just want you to open the front body up. So come onto your back, bridge pose. For those of you who have been in bridge pose, while the rest of us were doing that arm balance again, if you just got into bridge pose, stay there. If you've been in it and you're ready to come down, lower your hips to the ground, bring the soles of your feet together, and take your knees wide, pointing out to the sides. We do the best that we can with the body that we have, in the circumstances that we have, tigers, mice, and we're looking for that strawberry always. All right, let's everybody lower your hips down to the ground. All right, we're gonna take a moment to invert. I'm gonna go into shoulder stand. If you wanna go into head stand or forearm stand, handstand, you're welcome to take any of those postures on your own. Maybe use the wall if you have it. I'll talk you through shoulder stand. So from your back, bend your knees and really focus on the back of your head pressing into the floor. You're going to keep that downward pressure through the back of your head the whole time you're moving into shoulder stand and also once you're in it. Press down into your upper arms. Lift your shoulder blades off the mat a little bit and squeeze them in towards one another. Keep that squeezing in action. Keep the back of the head pressing down. Take your legs up into the air. You might need a little bit of momentum to start to get the hips off the ground. So if you need to swing a little bit, you can do that. But remember, back of the head on the ground, shoulder blades pulling in towards one another. We're going to lift the hips up. Take your hands behind your back. So depending on your lift, depending on your body proportions, your hands may be at your low back. Your hands may be down around the back of your rib cage. Press up through your feet. Press down through the back of your head. Try to squeeze those shoulder blades onto the back. This is, for many people, a gateway into inverting. But you really have to work in this pose to keep your neck and upper back protected. So don't forget that pressure through the back of your head and that squeezing of the shoulder blades. We'll take a few more breaths here. And then as you are ready, start to roll your back down to the mat. And then stretch the legs all the way out on the mat. We've got 2 more postures that are going to require a lot of effort from you. They're both back bends. So take a moment to enjoy the strawberry you're getting right here, which is just resting on your back, no effort required. And now we'll go into our 2 back bends. So you have options here. First option is to do 2 different one-legged bridge poses. So for example, the first bridge pose, you'll have your right leg straight up into the air, and then you'll come down, take a breather. Second bridge pose, left leg straight up into the air. I'll talk you through that. Second option is to come into wheel, and I'll talk you through that too. So if you're going into the bridge pose, one leg bridge, you start with the 2-leg bridge. So feet onto the ground, pressing your upper arms into the ground, back of your head into the ground, squeezing those shoulder blades onto the back, and then lifting your hips up. If you want, and if you can, interlace your hands underneath, and then walk your right foot closer to your left foot. Pull your left knee in towards your chest, and then press your left heel to the sky, and imagine that you're being lifted from that foot straight up into the sky. That's your 1-leg bridge pose with your left leg lifted. When you're ready, you'll come down and repeat on the other side. If you're going into wheel, I'll talk you through that one now. So feet are set up the same way as they are in bridge, about hip width distance and parallel. The hands come on either side of your head.
You want to start pulling into the belly here in any of the back bends, especially the deeper back bends like wheel. You want to make sure that belly's working to protect your low back. Low back is really bendy. We're going to try to move this back bend more into the mid to upper back, which is less bendy. It takes more work. So once the feet are planted, once the hands are planted, you start to lift your hips up and then press the floor away with your hands and pull your head back until you're on the top of your head. You can reset here, take a break, take a breath in, and then as you exhale, start to push the floor away with your hands. If you use some leg strength here and that belly strength, you can start to move your body more over your wrists and less over your feet. And as you move over the wrist, you'll curl into that upper back just a little bit more.
All right, I see some legs in the air. I see some feet and hands on the ground, everything else lifted. When you're ready, lower down to your mat and hug your knees into your chest. All the running from tigers, all the danger of gnawing mice is over. It's all strawberries from here. Strawberry fields forever. I just stole that from, I guess, the Beatles. Hug your right knee in, stretch your left leg out on your mat. Take your right arm out to the right. And as you exhale, draw that right leg over to the left, twisting. If it feels good, take your gaze over past the right hand and close your eyes. Be with the stretching sensation in your body. In doing our best, we sometimes tense up, we pull in. Here is the time for you to let go. Let the muscles melt as you twist. Let your head be heavy. And then inhale, bring your right leg up. Give it a little squeeze in, and then pull your left leg up too. Both knees drawing into your chest. Keep the left leg in, stretch your right leg out onto the mat, left arm out to the side, and then exhale, twist. Take your left leg to the right. If it feels right for your neck, take your gaze out past your left hand, and then close your eyes. Let go of the effort. Let gravity be your assistant in this pose. And then on an inhale, bring your knee up. Releasing the twist. Hug both knees in again, rock across your back. Maybe make little circles with your knees, both knees circling in one direction. This will help iron out the low back. Circle in the other direction. Oh, we're ready. We made it. We made it off the edge of the cliff. Stretch your legs out onto the mat. If you need finishing poses other than the ones that we've taken, please take those and then stretch yourself out. So traditional Shavasana is with your legs a little wider than your hips, knees and toes can fall out, palms up towards the ceiling. If this isn't totally relaxing for you, move around until you find what works for you. If you're feeling pulling in your low back, maybe bend the knees a little bit. You can put something under the knees to support them, or if you don't have anything handy, just bend your knees, soles of the feet onto the ground. Let the inner knees fall in towards one another. Take a deep inhale through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. Savor the sweetness, the strawberry of being here, resting in the knowledge that you've done your best. Take in a deeper inhale, and then let all that breath out slowly. Take another couple of breaths here just to savor this strawberry, this sweetness in your day, where you feel connected in mind, body, and heart, where you feel open and strong in mind, body, and heart. And then start to wave your fingers, wave your toes. If it feels good, roll your wrists around one way and the other. Same thing with your ankles. And then stretch your arms overhead, reach, lengthen. On an exhale, roll to your right side if that side's comfortable for you, and take a moment to honor yourself for doing your best. Honor yourself for finding the strawberry in every situation, every moment, and savoring it. And then on another exhale, bring yourself up to a seat. Once you're seated, close your eyes and join your hands at your heart. I hope as you go through your day, you do your best, no matter if there are tigers above and tigers below. I hope that you're able to, in every situation you encounter today, find the strawberry. Let's take a moment and join our energy together. We'll send it out to all of those in need, all of those who are finding a tough time finding strawberries in their lives. We will send our energy to them. Namaste. Thank you, friends.